Sebastian, since you've been there. Can you help us understand a little bit? Each week has a particular focus in terms of what, I guess, how they deliver what they're delivering?
Right. Yeah, so I'll try to be as concise as possible, because it is important for viewers to understand how the process actually works. But it's basically 3 weeks of sessions where the bishops are all sitting in the aula, the hall there that looks like an amphitheater where they're all, the month is broken down according to the structure of the working document that they're using, which is the Instrumentum Laboris.
Which is in 3 parts.
And that is written in 3 parts. Okay. Recognizing, interpreting, and choosing. In other words, trying to analyze the situation, trying to, in the second part, judge or critique it in some way, and in the end, try to say, what do we do about it? What are the practical implications of it? And that process, that methodology, is also the process for this month. So the first week, they're going to be looking at interventions that are kind of assessing the situation. What is the experience of young people? What are young people telling the bishops? What are the situations that they're in, the difficulties, the challenges? The second week will be more interpreting. How do we make sense of this? How do we bring that experience into dialogue with what the church teaches? And how do we, figure that out, grapple with that? And then the third week, of course, what do we do? What are we going to be doing? So that's kind of how the 3 weeks will break down. And the bishop's interventions will correspond to those segments.
It's very much that see, judge, act
model. Yeah.
And I've always been curious, because that's in Latin America, we do everything with that model.
Yes.
I mean, we see that's how Aparecida is written.
Yes.
I'm curious, in your experience, Father Matt, you're ordained, you're in the church. Do you see that model being used in the church more now, or like in your parish?
I think so. In some ways, in a very practical sense, when we just talk about openness and discernment, it's that seeing, being open to that, and seeing, judging is that discerning that takes place, and then from that we act.
Right.
But also, it's interesting for me. When I was a seminarian studying to be a priest, I was with the Sulpicians, the Father San Sulpice, and one of their great prayer traditions it's called Sulpician meditation, and it's the idea of taking Jesus before my eyes, in my heart, and in my hands, seeing, judging, and hear, and then putting it out, acting in that way. So it's all right there together. Yeah.
That's great. Actually, that's maybe a good place to take a little break, because it gives me a little solace that there's maybe some prayerfulness to the model that how the Synod is being run.